you know, again, that's why I hate the whole concept of the multiverse, because now characters like Doctor Strange, they can fucking destroy one universe. In that universe also exists the Eternals, also exists the Deviants, also exist gods, and then you suddenly are telling me that there are characters that can blow up whole universe and nobody can do anything about it.
I mean,
Yeah,
isn't that the
that's
plot of Loki right now?
season 2, right? No spoilers. I'm only on episode 3. No
But
spoilers.
you know what the show's about.
You know what the show's about, and that's what they're doing, unfortunately. Which when it comes to what Champe's saying, that there's no connection to the people that are dying in those other universes. So how are you engaged? Bringing it back to Ryan earlier, right? Yeah, I'm just not engaged in that part of the series. And everybody's raving about it, but Loki's not doing it for me. Season 2 at least is not doing it for me, guys. So when it comes to the shows, all right, who here liked WandaVision? Who thought it was good? All right, so we got 4 on that. Who liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier? All right, so we got 2 on that.
I like Anthony Mackie, man.
Okay.
I enjoy
I
him.
don't like Anthony Mackie.
I don't like Clarence.
Because
I
he's
don't
black?
like Clarence. I'm not a fan of Clarence.
Chopper, that was beautifully done. Beautifully done. Well delivered.
Loki, season 1.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, so we got a 4 on that. What if
Didn't watch it.
you didn't watch it? Okay.
Some episodes were great, some were shit.
So we got
I
2.
think I saw one episode.
All right, so
But
all right, not enough for
whatever.
you. All right, Werewolf by Night.
Didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it.
Okay, so we got 2.
What do you
Hawkeye.
think? Oh, hell no. Really,
Definitely
Choppy?
didn't watch
Really?
it.
You guys liked
Actively
it?
avoided it.
Because I like down to earth stories, and that was something that we needed. I mean, I know Ryan is right. Jeremy Renner is not the best.
Okay, then you're fine. If you like the show
Okay.
but still dislike Jeremy Renner, you're okay.
All right. No, I like the show. I like Jeremy Renner. I like the
You're
whole.
not okay.
I see. I like the play concept. Again, I am a child of the 70s, and I remember comic books promoting a Captain America play on Broadway that never appeared. So to have that play show up in the show based on the Avengers 1 movie, I popped for that big time. That was big for me.
The gimmick of being Christmas time did not even interest me in the slightest.
Oh, worked.
No.
It worked. For me, it worked. That whole series worked. Florence
That-
Pugh,
that's
Young
what I'm
Hawkeye.
saying.
Okay, Florence Pugh worked for me because I watched those scenes and those episodes for her because I enjoyed her in Black Widow. Even though the whole Black Widow movie wasn't that great, I enjoyed her character so much that I wanted to see where she would appear next.
Right.
Wasn't Hawkeye before Black Widow?
I'm
No.
with this guy. Totally with this guy.
Yes, 100%. I agree.
I don't remember.
No,
But it did have
wasn't.
something to do with it.
No, Hawkeye was after Black Widow because that's why she wanted to kill him.
Yep.
Ms.
Yeah, I didn't
Marvel.
watch it, so I don't know.
Ms. Marvel.
Didn't watch
How
it.
many
Couple
people like
episodes.
Ms. Marvel?
Couple episodes.
I
Really?
mean, that show can be the 2 first episodes and the last one. And you're like, I understood everything.
All right. How many
Give me a
people like,
3-piece. I only want
how
a
many,
3-piece.
how many people like Secret Invasion?
Oh, so disappointing.
All right.
Yeah.
They did my girl Daenerys dirty again, yo. She
Oh,
cannot
man,
get anything
Jesus
outside of
Christ.
Game of Thrones, man.
How many people like She-Hulk?
Can I cut your arms for this one?
Choppy counts for a -1.
Yeah.
It just goes to what you were expecting from the show. I mean, you
And
obviously
how
were
many
expecting
people
something.
liked Moon Knight?
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Yeah. Not for all the reasons that Jerry said, but I did like it.
But that's the cool part. It was still an interesting show. Even if you're not just thinking so deeply, it was still fun to watch.
All right. So, Jerry, here we go. All right. You're the numbers guy.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 4, 6, 10, 16, 17, 18, 22, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 22 divided by 9. What's the average on that? What's
Goes in
2.4.
Yeah.
2.4?
Yeah.
Oh, so the Marvel TV then, based on our standards, is failing, right?
So
They
based
have
on this very scientific review.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I had to bring out a calculator on my computer to know that.
Yes.
Was it a scientific calculator?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So that kind of sucks because
You were hoping that it was better?
yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
going to count the Phase 2 movies as well, or are you just talking about the
Are
TV
we
show?
gonna do the same exercise with the movies? I think
Phase 2, because this TV show is supposed to be part of Phase 2, right?
Are they?
We're not comparing it to the DC shows and movies because we know that the DC shows and movies are just bad. William,
He put an S.
Whoa!
He put it-
Whoa!
No, but he put an S
whoa,
there.
whoa,
There's
whoa.
one
I want
show,
to,
right?
I want
Whoa,
to hear
whoa,
what
whoa,
he's
whoa.
about to say.
The whole Arrowverse is not bad. Screw you
That
on
don't
the
count.
DC shows.
That don't count.
you got to roll
The
that back,
Arrowverse don't
son.
count.
Roll
The
that back,
for
Arrowverse
son.
shows.
You mean the Berlanti-verse because
It's called the
Black
Arrowverse.
Lightning was not part of the Arrowverse,
Yes,
but
it
it was
was.
a Berlanti
He
show.
made a no, yes, it is. Yes, it is because he made a crossover appearance, so he became part of the Arrowverse.
Yeah, guess what? Too little, too fucking late. You should have did it from the beginning. And Supergirl started on CBS, not on channel.
Yes,
not on
but The
CW.
Flash made an appearance in the first season on CBS from the CW, so it counts as an Arrowverse property.
Are we counting those previous DC TV shows and movies?
Which previous one? Smallville?
No, you're talking about any of them. If you're talking about the
I'm
Arrowverse,
always
then
counting
we talk-
Smallville.
but
Always.
they're not connected in any way. So why
Always counting.
even?
It did. It got connected.
All right, guess what?
The Arrowverse is
The title
CW
of today had nothing to do with DC. Thanks
I
for
know. It
chiming
never
in.
has anything to do with DC.
Okay.
We don't talk about DC ever.
We don't
listen.
talk
If
about
we're talking
Just
about
because their movies
superheroes,
suck.
You don't talk about the.
let me go over here. This guy's in the greatest superhero movie of all time, right here.
Who, Jerry?
Me?
The Bale Batman, right
Ah,
here. Right?
okay.
The Dark Knight?
Bale Batman. So the guy with marbles in his mouth.
Dark Knight. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you're gonna throw away the whole movie because of the voice.
Well, no.
You gotta throw away
That's
the
not
whole
enough.
movie because of the
Marvel's
voice.
got to move a little so you can actually say words.
Still
That
the
was it.
greatest
I am
superhero
Batman.
movie ever, and I think most people would agree with that. Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight Rises? Yeah, 100%.
No, the Dark
The
Knight.
I'm sorry,
Not
Dark
the
Knight,
Rises.
yeah.
Heath Ledger. The
Dark
Heath
Knight.
Ledger episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
The
Heath
movie.
Ledger
The movie.
episode. He has them trailed by episode. So
Movie.
the first wait. So the first one is the Liam Neeson episode. The second one is the Heath Ledger episode, and the last one is the Tom Hardy episode.
The last one
Yeah.
does not exist. That was just fan fiction. Somebody made that. It
That's
does
hilarious.
not exist. It's in the same category with Iron Man 3. They do not exist.
Iron Man 3 exists just for the fun of it. That ending sequence of throwing all those suits away.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was gonna cosplay the fucking Mandarin. It was the only chance I had to do a cosplay, and they fucking made
The
him.
Mandarin worked.
No,
worked
he
for me.
didn't. Yeah, it's like saying, okay, I'm gonna show you the Joker in a Batman movie, but no, it was a McDonald's employee.
It was Ronald. It was Ronald the whole time.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. How to waste the actor? I don't remember his name.
Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. How to waste Ben Kingsley saying that no, it was not the real man, and they were making a great job with a comparison with Osama bin Laden at the beginning. It was like a goddamn terrorist super villain. It was great, and then you tell me it was a lie, and then
It
they
was a
made
lie.
the same thing.
And I
in
liked the
WandaVision.
lie. I liked.
I thought it was fun.
Trevor
I
Slattery?
liked Ben Kingsley.
I
And
liked
then
his little
Shang-Chi
mini
revealed
episode.
that it was real.
I liked his little mini episode in the Thor DVD where he was being interviewed at the prison, and they showed his career as an actor. I thought it was fucking great, and I
You
like
have
his.
to make that to apologize to
sideways
the
again.
audience after doing that.
And then yes, William, Here we go. Ben Kingsley was redeemed in Shang-Chi. Yes, Shang-Chi. Yes, he was.
More or less.
Trevor Slattery. Yes, I love it. I love it. So there's the little things that we can nitpick on for good and nitpick on for for bad. All in all, are they hurting? Yes, they're hurting. There's a lot of infrastructure in Marvel that is unfortunately disorganized right now. CG effects have been very bad ever since D'Esposito, who was part of the Brain Trust, left.
They also contract all that out. That's part of the problem. You got seven
not
different
just
studios
not just
around
that. The Marvels and Quantumania were flip flopped, right? So it was supposed to be the Marvels coming out before Quantumania. When they flipped release schedules on that, they had a rush to get a lot of those CG effects done, and it didn't come out well. It didn't.
Was it even the CG though with Quantumania? Like they were trying so hard to make a Star Wars movie. Like you Disney's got Star Wars movies. That Quantumania felt to me like a fucking straight rip of Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
When they went down.
Not Star Wars. It was a property that unfortunately Marvel didn't have any more ties to, which was called the Micronauts, which was a toy line. Watch the Toys That Made Us on Netflix to explain the Micronauts. They're explained in the Transformers episode of the Toys That Made Us. But Marvel had the property to do the comics, the license to do the comics based on our property. They lost the license in the 80s. Hasbro tried to reinvent it in around 2018. They tried to bring it back along with some of the other things that they had, like Mask, Visionaries, Action Force, or Action Man, excuse me. And it just, the Hasbro verse failed, just like Tom was mentioning earlier with the Universal Monster Universe. Everybody wanted to recreate the Marvel Universe system. So the Micronauts were the heroes who were within the sub-universe of the sub-universe of the sub-universe.
Yeah, but that part didn't even matter to me. That's not even what I'm talking about. Had it not been in the sub-universe, you could not tell. It just looked like a straight up one of those scenes on a planet in Star Wars where you get the 15 million
that's
different aliens.
That's also what Micronauts was. A slight rip on Star Wars at the same time of being as being.
So then you agree it's a slight rip on something that was a slight rip of Star Wars.
But at this point, everything is a rip of everything else, so nobody can say the original.
Nothing original anymore, except. No, let me stop.
No, you're absolutely right. Except
New York versus the world.
New York versus the world, ladies and gentlemen. That is the latest book from Unstoppable Comics, which is live now on Kickstarter, and there's only 7 days left to fund on the project, folks. We need your help. We need your help.
Fireworks going.
If you are down with New York versus the world, you know what? Zombies, New York City, shit gets fucked up. Enough said. There's 3 episodes, as Jerry likes to say.
I do that a lot.
The series. This is one of the books that's kind of perplexing me because you guys were at New York Comic Con. This book was selling like hotcakes at New York Comic Con, and here we are trying to get a proper foothold. So if you or someone is in a position to do so, please support the campaign. We have digital, we have physical. If you've got issues 1 and 2, we're looking to print up issue number 3. That's what we need the funds for. And check it out. Some of the stretch goals are if we can get to them, are very appealing. We've got a holochrome trading card illustrated by Champa Ramirez. We've got our first stretch goal, which is a take on a famous photo where construction workers are sitting eating lunch on a construction beam and Ciampa put his spin on it. Then we have another trading card, which shows
Chompe. You got to change your name. You got to put an O in your name. Now you're Chompe.
which has zombies coming across the Brooklyn Bridge. And then we have another card, if we can get there, of the Statue of Liberty, all zombified in front of a messed up New York City. And our final stretch goal, if we can hit it,
We will.
which is a stretch. But if we can hit it, this black and white 28-page comic book becomes a full color comic book at no extra charge to anybody else. All you got to do is support the campaign. You could get shirts, you could get pins, you could get our digital catalog, or a lot of the stuff in print. You can see some of the preview pages if you go to Kickstarter right now and look up New York versus the World, issues 1 through 3.
Woo, woo.
Back
So is it original? No, because it's zombies. Is the setting original? No, because it's New York City, one of the most filmed places in the entire world, film locations. What is original is my take on it. And we're coming at it from an angle that I don't think anybody else has tackled it yet. So if you can, we'd love for you to help us out, support the book, because that's how we get paid, folks, right? That's how the stream keeps going. We don't have any major sponsors. That's how
Chompy gets paid.
That's how Chompy gets paid.
We don't have any major sponsors. We don't have VC money behind us. We do not have rich uncles. What we have is the people that have been supporting us since 2008 to make these kinds of comic books. So please check it out. Throw a couple shekels our way if it is in your wallet.
Ability.
Yeah, if you got a couple bones, we'd appreciate it. New York versus the World, issues 1 through 3. There's only 1 week left to pick up the book or the books. And they make great gifts. Great gifts.
It's almost Christmas.
Yes, it's almost Christmas. But yeah, so that's where we're at with the campaign. But when it comes to the Marvel Universe, how can they right the ship?
How can they what?
How can they
How
fix
can they
it?
make everything better?
Yeah.
Reboot the whole thing.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because there's another rumor going around that the executives are talking about bringing back all the original Avengers.
Tell me you're desperate without telling me you're desperate.
Exactly. Including dead characters to redo the whole
Well,
thing.
but that's a comic thing. Comics always bring back dead characters.
Right. And that may be a possibility in the Secret Wars movie that is going to be wrapping this whole thing up. I just hope we get Fantastic Four and the X-Men before the Secret Wars movies, because I think the movies need that, right? You've paid for these properties.
Where are they in the timeline now? Like, you know how they have the roadmap for the next 10 years. Our Fantastic
I don't know if that
Four
timeline is
They're
even going to
2
be
years
valid.
behind because the actors are not acting.
Right.
and the writers weren't writing,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
The
Right.
Chompeys weren't chomping.
No, they were still chomping.
But hopefully they can right the ship. Because I, for one, like the movies and I like the shows. I know people are knocking them, and I'm not trying to knock it. I don't want to come at this from a point of dissension, right? I'm not trying to tear these buildings down, because God knows we're not there right now. And
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go shoot.
At what point do the underwhelming and underperforming shows, right, like Secret Invasion, like Hawkeye, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, do they get weaved into the movies where you now have to get caught up by what? Some like previously on, or some kind of recap? Because if not everybody watched every single one of these shows, you can't have a reference to each one of these in some kind of 3-string New Avengers trilogy, you know?
Right.
So what do you leave behind? what do you say? All right, well, that wasn't worth
Hawkeye.
the effort, so it's not gonna. Yeah, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel. What do you like?
Oh no, she's being brought along.
Look, I can't wait till that movie comes out. I'm gonna watch it Friday.
All right, wait. I got to make a retraction from last week. I'm excited to see it. That freaking
Thank you.
5-minute preview
you.
that came
Boo.
out recently. I'm excited. That pumped me up. The whole fight sequence when they're interchanging locations.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't
her
that the first
interaction
trailer?
with Fury. Oh my god.
I can't wait.
No, but they showed an actual 5-minute fight scene of going back and forth for that.
Oh, I feel like the movie's also destroyed the comics to some sort of degree.
That's a
Wow.
harsh representation.
That is
huh?
wow, David. You're cutting throats, David.
Harsh.
Yeah.
Shit. I would never read a Batman comic again if I believed that from some of the
I mean, I can't read, so
No, but I would like him to
Shut up.
explain how, because I don't agree with him, but he may explain why does he feel that.
Well, David, you got a few
Maybe
moments to chime in your answer before we cut out of here, brother.
We'll give you 5 minutes, David. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wrap it up in 5 minutes, please.
Because I do
Alright, so-
know, and it's noticeable that after Robert Downey Jr., every Iron Man writer, director, artist, they want to emulate. I don't know how to say that because
Emulate is correct.
Robert Downey Jr. They want to make his image on paper, but not everyone.
So, do you think having other franchises also in the superhero space is part of the reason that they can't all just be good, right? So, The Boys has been out. Gen V, which is a spin-off of The Boys, just came out.
Right.
Invincible is an animated version of kind of the same style of stuff is out. Second season just started. Like, I mean, if you're not getting specifically MCU fatigue or quote unquote superhero fatigue, what is it that all of these shows at the same time are going to do to what you have, a taste for, what you have like enjoyment in?
But The Boys, I think, is a completely different realm when it comes to the superhero style. It's like telling us, here's what happens if all the superheroes were a-holes.
No, I get that, but that's like me. Let's say I love to play Street Fighter, right? It's like,
Mhm.
all right, well, instead of playing Street Fighter, go play Mortal Kombat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you can't also play Street Fighter at the same time. Like which one are you going to have more fun with? Do you like The Boys because it has the violence, right? And then once that's over, you're going to go back to the other one.
It's not about the violence. It's because it's a good story,
Oh, it's
Well
about the
told.
violence.
well told.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if the show's that good of a story because they've dropped the ball on a few things.
You're comparing it with the comic, for example.
Oh, for the comic book, you know what? I didn't read the comic. Being a fan of Derek Robinson, who was the artist on it, I was not a fan of it. Invincible, I was. Right? There's a ton of violence. Is it a good story? I don't know. I mean, the performances are great, but I don't know if they're sticking to the rules that they set up in season 1. And we'll see what happens with season 4. There became too much of a political message at the end of season 3 that was very meta. And I was just, I was already disengaged with it for a while. So,
Hey, but Ryan, I can play Street Fighter for an hour, and then I can play Mortal Kombat for an hour.
Yeah, but are you going to? Just because you can doesn't mean you will, right? I mean, the only thing I think that saves us with the movies and the TV shows is that they're not all premiering at the same time. But if you had them both at the same time, you got to make a choice. You're going to take the one that you're going to have more fun with, which is probably the one that's newer, right?
During the pandemic, we would have killed for any of these shows to fill that time, right? But because we have so much to do now, we don't get to see as much of it as we used to. So we're let down when the time that we've invested to watch the show does not fulfill the standards that we set up for what my life is now and how much time I have allocated to watch something. Right? In my opinion, I do not think Marvel carries the good favor they used to have.
Right, where everything was like almost a guaranteed hit, right?
Right. I've been let down. I don't know about you guys.
So is that going to take a new generation of people running it versus a reboot in a sense? Like, is
I
it going
hope
to
it's
take?
not a reboot. I don't.
Is it going to take somebody coming in completely new into the landscape and being in a control in a different way?
No, because I don't think Kevin Feige is going to give up control. He fought too hard to get the amount of control that he has right now.
But
I mean, should we just give up and be like, hey, we had our good 10 years. We had a good 12 years. Like,
give up? No, but take a little break, probably.
well, what I mean by that is like the same way that, and I'll get crucified for saying it, but like the 3 different Star Wars trilogies were not made for the same people.
No.
So these Star Wars nerds that were upset about the last trilogy, like, yo, they weren't made for you. They were made for your kids. So shut the fuck up, right? Like, don't complain about something that was clearly not made for you, and enjoy it in the way that you can. The same way you can watch a kid's animated movie and they'll throw a couple jokes in there for the parents. Like, you got to know what the audience is. So is the MCU just done for people like us? Or are we just never going to get anything like that again?
I don't know.
And should we just give up on it? Like, you think there's going to be a phase 3 if this keeps happening by the end of phase 2?
I don't know. They still have 2 major franchises they have yet to drop.
Right, but these plans were all made when they were riding high, when they were the greatest, the greatest show on earth, right? Like, now that you're not at that level, like, do you still follow through with those? Do you still follow through with those original plans? You haven't written or shot anything, right? You can scrap those projects.
Well, they were starting to shoot the Blade flick, right? They were 4 weeks away from shooting Blade.
All the news from that just sucks.
Yeah, but I hope things come around, because this is something that I've been waiting for my entire life. I finally got it. I suffered through some of the shitty 1970s shows.
Let's not talk about this.
Those don't count.
To get what we're getting today is awesome. I just hope they right the ship. That's all.
But even if they don't, they're still going to keep going.
Yeah.
We just won't be along for the ride. That's all.
Yeah.
Not for all of them. We'll find some that we enjoy.
Yeah.
She-Hulk season 2, baby.
We'll finally get a review of Jay for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
All right. Yeah. So look at that. William, he's still in with the X-Men. I hope the X-Men are
if they
good.
ever come out.
I would love. This is the last thing we're going to say about it, because I heard. This is a rumor. That the Marvels may be leading into the X-Men.
That's you bullshitting just to try to get us to go see fucking. I'm not going to see it. I'll wait till it comes out.
I heard Kelsey Grammer is going to be returning as the Beast, and I also heard that actually they're going to showcase Rogue making her thing to Captain Marvel.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. If you know, you know. All right.
I also heard that there's a shit ton of cameos in the next Deadpool movie that they could just call anybody and everybody, and they showed up.
That's next week. That's next week while we wrap up versus the world. That's next week. Okay. Yes.
Come back next week.
There's
for
stuff
Deadpool.
coming out with Deadpool, right? and speaking of Taylor Swift, her boyfriend plays tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. All right. So, guys, have a good night, everyone in Streamland.
Why am I looking at
All right, folks, where can they find you if they want to continue this conversation with you in the socials? Ryan, where are they going to find you at?
Right down here. Instagram. Also unstoppablecomics.com.
My man. Chape, where can they find you if they want to continue this conversation with you, baby?
Facebook is the way to find me. I do have Instagram and Twitter, but I don't use them, so Facebook is the way.
Facebook. Jerry, if they want to yell at you for liking Moon Knight so much, where are they gonna-
Enigma Pins. Just come and yell at me at Enigma Pins.
there you
Find me
go,
there.
baby. All right. And, folks, if you want to yell at me,
He'll be here
this is
tomorrow.
where you can find me. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Big head mode.
Please like, subscribe, and find us on Kickstarter, New York versus the World. Good night, everybody.
Night.